Leftovers. Please welcome Caleb Washburn.
I have to I don't have my poems in order, which is bad. So I'm going to be doing a mix of old stuff and new stuff in the sense that some of the stuff will be revisions that are really different revisions, and then some of the other parts will be I'll read excerpts from poems from my first year because they're from series that first years and second years haven't heard at all, but then I've written in those speakers again, and so I want you to so I'm going to do an excerpt of old poems so you can hear the speaker the first time, and then I'll read a new thing where they're doing something different. So this is just a revision. So this is actually, I have one poem that I revised and there had two very different results. So I'm going to read both of them. So this is, I want what I want like the heart. I heard is the smallest bell of an organ, the chime your ward rings from the dusty attic, and still you attend to its sores and fears. But what sores they are! Even when I give myself the best possible attention, I take terrible care of this poor thing. My heart can't know how bad it is for itself to desire, with no mind for the stresses of unending desire. It's of a destructive sort, but how can you blame something with no hands? One might as well take one's heart out and admire it for its beauty, for all the good it'll do one in the end. If you would take yours out, if you would hand me yours, I would bejewel it and wear it on my head, call it my coronary thorns, my keter and only goal, pronounce it incomprehensible, and show it off. I would wear it as proudly as the veil of a very proud widow on every anniversary she still keeps. So this is that same poem, but it's very different. So, I want what I want like the heart. A heart of mirrors and soot, a heart of honey and crawling larvae, a heart of redundant explosions, a heart of bile and tongues, a heart of water repeating, a heart of moans and ears, a heart of sucked toes, a heart of fish livers used for bait, a heart of smoke and wind, a heart of traffic cones, a heart of muscle and triggers, a heart of swords, a heart of coins, a heart of men in gym shorts getting rained on, a heart of irritated skin, slick scales, debris, and crushed shining stag beetles, a heart of mouths, but also a heart of fingers, a heart of yellow oranges, a mine and the resulting hole. So those are those two poems, or one poem in two parts, I don't know. So then I had a couple series that I wrote in my first year. And so I had one which is a persona poem in the persona of a drone, so the war, drone warfare drone. And I had another series of poems of a man living in another man's mouth, and so it's really surreal and weird. And then this summer I started writing poems that were a combination, these two speakers, and I thought they were different poems, but this I was writing a drone poem and another man in the mouth poem, but all of a sudden these two poems seemed really similar, and they were really similar. So I'm going to read an excerpt of the drone and an excerpt of the man in the mouth, and then I'll read you the two new things next to each other. So, the night of the man in your mouth, starting at part 2. Tonight I become a small starling, a naked, ugly thing. A man holds me in his mouth, but it's awkward. My feet have nowhere to go, so I slide them under his tongue. He tells me my feet are cold. He corrects me, telling my feet aren't under his tongue, but resting against his genioglossus, which strikes me as odd. Why does he know that word? 3. Even though I'm no bigger than a beak in the roof, A beak in the roof of his mouth. I measure myself in the gap left between the two rows of teeth. I rest and imagine the space bothering him, having to offset his bite, the space becoming a slow ache. I measure the opening between his lips, parsed into an oblong O. That's my gap. That's me. 4. The man's teeth chatter, and I scare, easy, so I burrow into his tongue. I cleave through wetness, this root, this bulb, this starch, and it's warm. It's warming my skin. From the inside, I thought I would know why it moves. I don't. What's he saying? It beats me. I know what it's like to slap and not know why. Reverberations help static feel static. The floor of his mouth, nothing but small granular bumps, trembles, a plastic bag pulled taut in wind. The wind dies, but I'm left with the plastic. I've cut into the tongue itself, waiting for it to break into thrush, a throstle, something that can pick me apart and never stop picking, something that never stops. I'm waiting for something to bloom in him and, like a starling flock, keep blooming. 5. I'm waiting for a darling flock, a blooming starling, something that never stops picking me apart, something that can throstle me through this thrush, something to cut this tongue. I'm waiting with a plastic bag pulling me taut like wind. Wind dies, his mouth trembles, nothing but granular bumps, feels static. I know what it's like to slap reverberation static. I don't know what he's saying. I thought I would. It moves. I don't. It beats me. So then I'll switch to the drone poem. So this is from Why Drones Seek. I'll just read the first part of it. 1. You can't tell me war isn't romantic, capital R romantic. I wouldn't believe you if you did. I am engaged in war. How many trees have I made weep? How many clouds have I made shout down the hills? How many sunsets have I bled dry until the sun, capital S sun, sank into the bosom of the horizon like a dried up flaccid moon? How many households do I need to strip to their naked frame until you believe me? War is romantic. I can set this all to music. I am a die-hard romantic. I seek things to the end of the world. This takes work. Once I thought I was in love. I was given the image of a man, his face round like he swallowed beehives. He should have been so easy to find. I've learned just how many miles I can fly on empty. I can fly all night. The sight of the pathetic moon motivates me. Waxing is the motion of comfort. Waning is the motion of desire. I prefer to fly in daytime. I lost the next page. Something, something, something. America, America. I don't know where that far went. Yeah, I'm just going to end there. Oh, I found it. The shadow I leave across the dusty fields is an intimate mirror. One moment full of rocks, next moment a burnt-out building. I see eyes in char-darkened windows. Sometimes I see faces in everything. Sometimes I can't do my job. I can't do my job if I'm seeing things. But there are times when I remember why I do this. America, America. I think it needs this setup before just the random. Okay. So then I have 2 untitled poems, and these are, so I'm going to read the Man in the Mouth poem first, and then I'll read the drone one. As a bird, all I wanted were more hands and some uncovered skin. I longed for a caress I could feel, nothing to get in the way. Nothing was as big as I thought the sky would be, except that mouth. Nothing was as hollow as I thought a tree should be, except my bones. But that beak was good for something. I only ever learned to sing 3 notes, so I put them to work. Oh, I made myself bright because I wanted to attract everything. Forget your odes. Nothing is as painful as a love song stuck in the back of your throat. This is the drone. I sang the news of the day, but no one thought it beautiful. We don't want requiems, and so I stopped. I sang them too poorly. I am a thing of the air, and dark and low. I cannot take the ground into me, and the ground cannot take me into it. We are just so different. But still, I just want one day to sink deep into the ground and turn my sight up to the sky. But that's it. Yes, that's it, to love something but not need it. To squint when looking into the sun, or at a cute boy as blinding as the sun. It is so hard to still want something, to find it desires when looking at it head on. I have been like a god all my life and lonely. Nothing can prepare you for that.